Discipline beats motivation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something real, something that will make the difference between dreams fading away and dreams becoming reality. Motivation is fleeting. It's a spark. It's the burst of energy we feel when we get excited about something new. But motivation, no matter how powerful it feels in the moment, is not enough to carry you across the finish line. If you want true, lasting success, you need something more discipline. Discipline is the foundation that will hold you up when the excitement fades. It's the quiet determination to keep going when you don't feel like it. When you wake up early, even when your bed is calling your name. When you push through the pain, the exhaustion, and the doubt. Discipline doesn't need motivation. It thrives in the absence of it. It's your commitment to show up, day in and day out, no matter what. Because here's the truth. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the tide. Some days you'll feel like you can conquer the world, but on other days you'll barely be able to get out of bed. But discipline doesn't care about how you feel. Discipline says, get up, do the work, push forward, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when you're not motivated, you will do it anyway. The greatest achievers, the ones who push boundaries, break records, and rise above, they don't rely on motivation. They rely on their habits. They rely on discipline. They make excellence non-negotiable. Discipline is what turns potential into performance. It is what turns a goal into an achievement. So stop waiting for motivation to strike. Stop looking for the perfect moment. The world doesn't reward excitement. It rewards consistency. It rewards those who show up day after day, without fail. The truth is, discipline will carry you further than motivation ever will. If you want to achieve greatness, you need to accept that the road is long and often lonely. There will be moments when no one is watching, when no one is cheering you on, when no one is telling you that you're doing great. Those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments when you will have to lean on something much stronger than motivation. You will have to lean on your discipline. Discipline isn't just about doing what's easy or what feels good in the moment. It's about doing what's necessary, even when every fiber of your being wants to quit. It's about understanding that success is not an event, it's a process. It's the relentless pursuit of small, consistent actions over time, regardless of how you feel or what obstacles you face. Motivation will fade, but discipline is the silent engine that keeps you moving forward when all you want to do is stop. Think about it. How many times have you felt inspired to start something? How many times did you feel a burst of motivation and think, this is it. I'm going all in. We've all been there, but then life hits. You face setbacks. You get tired. The initial excitement fades. The motivation slips away. And what happens next? If you have discipline, you keep going. You remember that progress doesn't always come from huge leaps. Sometimes it's the smallest steps consistently taken that lead to the greatest achievements. When you rely on discipline, you are taking those steps whether you feel like it or not. you are creating a momentum that's unstoppable. When you commit to discipline, you're training yourself to trust the process. Success isn't a matter of luck or fleeting motivation. It's a matter of perseverance, of staying the course when it feels tough. And the beauty of discipline is this: it builds on itself. Each day you show up, no matter how small the task, you are getting stronger, sharper, and more capable. Eventually, the work you put in, the hours you sacrifice, the effort you give it, all adds up. And when it does, the results speak for themselves. Here's the kicker: discipline doesn't require a perfect mood. It doesn't require a perfect environment. You don't need everything to be aligned. You don't need the stars to align. You just need to be committed to showing up day in and day out, doing what you said you would do. And that's where the magic happens. That's when success stops being a dream and starts being your reality. So, when motivation fades, when the initial excitement wears off, ask yourself, do I have the discipline to keep going? That's the question that will determine your future. Because no matter how motivated you are today, it's your discipline that will carry you through tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. Discipline isn't sexy, it's not glamorous, but it works. It gets results. It's the thing that will sustain you when motivation is nowhere to be found. So, commit to your discipline. Build it. Strengthen it. Make it a part of who you are. And when the world is waiting for motivation to strike, you'll already be ahead because you've been building your success one disciplined action at a time. As we continue this journey, let's dive into a crucial point. Discipline isn't something you have to wait for. It's something you build, one decision at a time. It's not an innate trait some people are born with. It's a muscle. And just like any other muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. It's easy to look at someone successful and think, they have something I don't. They have a gift. The truth is, they've just been showing up long enough to make discipline their default. They've made the commitment to their craft, their health, their growth, and that consistency becomes the bedrock of their success. But here's the key. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about being okay with imperfection, with failure, and continuing anyway. It's about not letting setbacks define you. When you fall, discipline picks you up. When you get tired, discipline keeps you moving. And when you feel like giving up, discipline says, not today, keep going. You see, the journey to success isn't linear. There will be highs and there will be lows. There will be days when you feel like you're on top of the world, and there will be days when you wonder if it's worth it. That's why motivation is so unreliable. It comes when the energy is high but leaves when you need it most. Discipline is the constant that helps you navigate through both the peaks and valleys. Let's talk about your daily actions. When you wake up, do you have a plan? Do you have the discipline to stick to that plan, even when distractions pull at you, when excuses come knocking at your door? It's easy to say, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll do it when I feel more inspired. But here's the cold, hard truth. Tomorrow is a myth. The only time you have is now. Your success is built in the present moment, not in some imaginary future where you'll magically feel motivated. Now, I'm not saying motivation is useless. It can be a spark to ignite the fire. But Discipline is the fuel that keeps the fire burning. Motivation is like a light breeze. It feels great when it blows in your direction, but it can vanish just as quickly. Discipline is the wind behind your back, constantly pushing you forward, whether you feel motivated or not. Let's be real for a moment. The road to greatness is a grind. It's not glamorous. It's showing up every day, doing the work, even when you don't see immediate results. It's doing the boring stuff, the stuff that doesn't get applause or recognition. It's doing the reps, the training, the preparation, and trusting that all the small efforts will eventually add up. That's where discipline shines. It doesn't need a pat on the back. It doesn't need validation. It just keeps moving forward, no matter what. So ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do today, with discipline, to get closer to my goal? It doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to be done every single day. You'll be amazed at how much progress you can make when you make discipline a habit instead of relying on the fickle nature of motivation. Because at the end of the day, the most successful people don't get there because they were always motivated. They get there because they stayed disciplined. They committed to their craft, showed up even when it was hard, and made progress even when it felt like they weren't making a dent. The power of discipline is this: it turns you from a dreamer into a doer, from someone who hopes for success to someone who creates it. So don't wait for motivation to strike. Make discipline your foundation. And no matter what life throws your way, you will always have the strength to keep going because you know that discipline beats motivation every time. It's easy to talk about discipline in theory, but putting it into practice requires a shift in mindset. It requires commitment to yourself, to your future, and to your goals. And it requires a willingness to embrace discomfort because growth happens when you step outside your comfort zone. Here's the reality. Discipline is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to get started, but about deciding right now that you are going to show up no matter what. The first step in building discipline is setting clear, non-negotiable standards for yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to wake up early and work out, do it. If you say you're going to study for an hour every day, do it. No excuses, no shortcuts. Make your word your bond. If you don't keep promises to yourself, you'll start to lose trust in yourself, and that erodes your discipline. Next, make discipline a habit. You don't have to force yourself to be disciplined every single day. Over time, it becomes automatic. It becomes who you are. The more you do something, the easier it becomes to keep doing it. That's why consistency is key. The more you show up, even on days when you're not feeling it, the stronger your discipline muscle gets. One of the best ways to build discipline is by setting micro goals, small, achievable targets that push you forward every day. For example, instead of saying, "I want to lose 20 pounds," say, "Today I'm going to walk for 30 minutes, eat one healthy meal, and drink water." Instead of saying, "I'm going to write a book," say, "Today I'm going to write 500 words." Small wins add up, and with each success, you build more confidence in your ability to stay disciplined. But it's not just about the actions, it's about your mental game. Discipline requires the ability to silence your doubts, to ignore the inner voice that says, "This is too hard," or "I don't feel like it today." To train yourself to act even when your emotions are telling you otherwise. This is where real transformation happens. It's when you push through the discomfort and show yourself that you are in control, not your feelings. And here's the truth. It won't always be easy. There will be days when you fail, days when you don't feel like showing up. But that's okay. Failure is part of the journey. What matters is that you get back on track, that you don't allow one slip-up to derail your entire progress. The key is getting up again and again, no matter how many times you fall. The disciplined person isn't the one who never fails, they're the one who refuses to stay down. Another critical part of building discipline is creating an environment that supports your goals. Surround yourself with people, habits, and tools that make it easier to stay disciplined. If your goal is to be healthier, stock your fridge with nutritious foods. If your goal is to write, set up a dedicated workspace where you can focus. When you create an environment that aligns with your values and goals, discipline becomes easier because your surroundings are reinforcing your commitment. Finally, let's talk about self-compassion. Discipline doesn't mean being harsh with yourself. In fact, it's the opposite. It means recognizing that you're human, that there will be setbacks, and that the journey is a marathon, not a sprint. Be kind to yourself when you slip up. Acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and keep moving forward. The road to greatness is not paved with perfection. It's paved with consistency, persistence, and a healthy dose of grace. Here's the bottom line. Discipline is a choice. It's the decision to keep going when you don't feel like it. It's the refusal to give up, to give in to distractions, to let excuses win. It's choosing to be consistent, even when the motivation is nowhere to be found. And the beauty of discipline is that, over time, it creates its own momentum. The more you practice it, the easier it gets. The more you trust it, the more it will trust you back. If you want to be great, you need to embrace discipline as your ally. Motivation will come and go, but your discipline is the constant that will carry you through the toughest of times. It's the thing that will take you from average to extraordinary. It's the difference between dreaming and achieving. Discipline beats motivation every time, and when you make it a part of your life, you'll unlock a power within you that can't be stopped. So, make the choice today. Build your discipline, one small action at a time, and watch how it transforms your life. When discipline becomes a part of your identity, you stop relying on motivation to push you forward. You wake up every day with a sense of purpose, not waiting for a spark of inspiration to hit, but knowing that what you do today will shape your tomorrow. Motivation might still come in moments, giving you a boost of energy or excitement, but it's discipline that makes sure you keep moving, even when the motivation wanes. Here's what it looks like when discipline becomes your default. You become consistent. Success isn't about one moment of brilliance. It's about the small, consistent actions you take every day. When discipline becomes your foundation, you stop focusing on the grand result and start focusing on the process. You show up every day, even when it's tough. You build momentum in small, seemingly insignificant actions that, over time, create an avalanche of progress. The key to success isn't a big leap forward, it's 1,000 small steps taken with determination. Think about it. If you commit to doing something every single day, no matter how small, think of where you'll be in a month, in a year, in 5 years. Success isn't a race. It's a steady, disciplined march toward your goals. You develop resilience. Discipline is what builds resilience. When you're disciplined, you don't take setbacks personally. You don't let failure define you. Instead, you see obstacles as opportunities to learn and grow. You get back up, no matter how many times you fall, because discipline teaches you that failure is part of the process, not the end. The road may not always be smooth, but discipline keeps you on course, reminding you that challenges are temporary, but the growth you gain from overcoming them is permanent. You shift your identity. When discipline becomes a part of your life, your identity shifts from being someone who wants success to someone who is committed to the journey. You stop seeing yourself as a passive observer of your dreams, waiting for the right moment to act. Instead, you become the creator of your own destiny. Your identity is now built on the habits you've formed and the mindset you've developed. When you see yourself as a disciplined person, your actions align with that belief. You no longer have to rely on willpower alone because discipline is embedded in your daily routine. You are the person who wakes up early, who prioritizes your health, who works on your craft, and who consistently pushes forward. Your actions reflect your identity, and your identity drives your success. You build habits that serve you. Habits are the building blocks of discipline. They are the small, automatic actions that you no longer need to think twice about. When you make discipline a daily practice, you begin to build a series of positive, empowering habits that serve your long-term goals. These habits become second nature. Whether it's writing every morning, exercising every evening, or learning something new every day, these habits compound over time and lead you to massive success. What might seem like a simple habit today can turn into a powerful force that propels you toward your goals over time. You find joy in the process. One of the most surprising things about discipline is that once it becomes a habit, it no longer feels like a grind. You begin to enjoy the journey. You realize that the true satisfaction isn't in the end result, but in the daily progress you make. The sense of accomplishment comes from the consistency, from the growth, from the act of showing up even when things are hard. You start finding fulfillment in the process itself, and that's where the magic happens. Success isn't a destination, it's the ongoing process of becoming the person you were meant to be. You maximize your potential. Discipline unlocks your full potential. It keeps you moving forward, even when you want to quit, and in doing so, it forces you to step up and perform at a higher level. When you stay disciplined, you challenge yourself to be better every single day. You push through resistance, stretch your limits, and find out what you're truly capable of. Without discipline, you only scratch the surface of your potential. But with it, you uncover a depth of talent, determination, and strength that you never thought possible. Now, let's take this deeper. The path to success is never linear. There will be days where the road is clear, the sun is shining, and everything feels easy. But there will also be days when the storm hits, days when obstacles seem insurmountable, days when the weight of the world feels heavier than ever. On those days, motivation is the first thing to slip away. But you know what? That's when discipline kicks in. When the world tells you to quit. When your mind says you can't take it anymore. Discipline is what keeps you moving. It's the knowledge that the small actions, repeated over time, will compound into something extraordinary. It's the ability to say, "This isn't easy, but I will keep going anyway." Discipline is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's what turns effort into results. Motivation will tell you to work hard when it's convenient, when everything's aligned, when the stars are in your favor. But life doesn't always operate on your schedule. It doesn't care if you're tired or if you're struggling. Success doesn't care about your excuses. That's why motivation alone will never take you as far as discipline will. Motivation doesn't keep you consistent. Discipline does. Look around you. The most successful people you admire, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, they don't rely on how they feel to get the job done. They show up because they are driven by something deeper than temporary emotion. They've built the habit of discipline into their lives, and that discipline becomes their autopilot. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike. It's about committing to the process, even when the process is tough. Discipline is the difference between knowing what you should do and actually doing it. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about putting in the work when the world says take a break. It's about consistency, persistence, and resilience in the face of adversity.